So today we are going to talk about storage accounts. Yesterday we discussed about storage account wizard options. So also we created storage account. So today we are going to discuss what are the options inside the storage account, how we can use it. Those things we'll discuss. So as we discussed yesterday, storage account is similar to like AWS S3, EFS, Elastic File System, and S3 storage. And in S3 also we can create a static website. So same way with more options, we have a storage account. So inside the storage account, we have a containers, file shares, queues, and tables. And a queues already I discussed. It's like a NoSQL database, and sorry, table is like NoSQL database, and queues, as I mentioned, for applications, it needs some space to provide some kind of information. Like if Azure is providing these notifications, so it needs some space to provide these notifications. Same way, like messaging queue. But in general, Azure is providing separate services for these two options. Like Azure is providing Cosmo DB, which is a NoSQL database. So whoever want to use NoSQL database, they will go to the Azure Cosmo DB database instead of this tables. And Azure, I think some other services also there for messaging queue also. Like Cosmo DB is optional for like this one, tables, NoSQL database. Same way, we have another service for queues also. Mostly no one will use these two services. So we can focus mainly on these containers and this file shares. So once we open the storage account, we can see this is an overview about our storage account, what we have created, and what is the replication we selected, and what type of storage type, account type we selected, general purpose. Because yesterday we discussed, we multiple storage types are there. Based on that, you can select the option, and subscription in which region we created, and performance is also standard we selected. And here you can see this data lake storage is for big data analytics. We use it. And you can see like remaining file service, queue service, table, and containers. And left side, if you see this, we know already activity log, whatever the activity you do, creating, deleting, modifying, everything will be recorded. Based upon these filters, it will store only, provide you that specific storage account information. If you remove these filters, everything is going to be visible, like complete your main tenant account, complete details, VNets, uh, firewalls, whatever you created till now, everything will be visible here. But with the help of these filters, we can able to see only the storage account information. And access control, IAM, to provide access to specific users, we'll use this. And data migration. So there are variety of Azure data transfer solutions available for customers. Please select the resource type and transfer scenarios. So here, if your data is in on-premises and you want to migrate it, then you can use, at the time the storage account will be very useful. So you can select resource type. So what you want to select, for example, you want to specific Azure blobs or maybe the complete storage account. Then transfer scenario, if you want, move account to a new subscription, move account to new, or move account to new region, upgrade. Like, so here they will tell you like how you want to migrate the data. They will provide you the options. So for example, local on-premises files, you have on-premises data center, and from there you want to copy the data to the Azure cloud. So local on-premises file. And transfer scenario, upload local data to Azure blobs or Azure files. You can decide. If it is a huge files, then you can go with the Azure files, or else you can go with the Azure blob. And estimated data size, let's say if it is 1 TB of data, then how you want to transfer. And then you can decide approximate available network bandwidth. So what is your data center on-premises data center bandwidth? Then you can select, let's say if it is 5 Gbps, and then transfer frequency only one time. Then Azure is recommending you what options you can use to copy this data from your on-premises to the cloud. So here AZ copy means what? AZ command means from your data center. For example, you have a Windows machine. If you have a on-premise data center and this is your Windows machine and there is a data, and this is your Azure storage account, and from here you can use AZ command. AZ copy command will work. So locally you need to install AZ command line tool. With the AZ utility, you can able to connect to the storage account and you can copy the data from here to here. So a command line utility, data transfer utility, copy data to and from Azure Blobs files. Okay, and Azure PowerShell. So you can use instead of AZ command, you can use the PowerShell also from the same Windows machine. If you open PowerShell, PowerShell is having its own commands. AZ command is an Azure utility. Apart from that, PowerShell is also having its own command line tools to work with the Azure cloud. So from the PowerShell also you can able to access the cloud and connect to the storage account and you can able to access it. And portal, Azure storage in Azure portal, time to transfer can be as low as 33 minutes. A web interface. Portal means how we are going to do. We provide access to the users. So from that Windows machine, they will connect to this portal. And there, if you see a storage browser, so from this storage browser, they are going to access it. If you see, this is our storage account, and this blob containers you can see here. As of now, nothing is created. So once it is created, they can able to upload files here, like upload, select, and browse files, and they can copy the data into this Azure containers. So this is also, it is possible. So again, I'll select local, transfer, and 50 and 5 Gbps once. And you have other options also. This is a API SDK means what? From your on-premises data, from your applications through APIs or software development kits also, you can able to connect to the storage containers, blob storage, and you can store the data. So multiple ways you can able to do. So sometimes, for example, if it is not 50, maybe 100 TB, or else network is low. Then if you see here, when I mentioned 100 TB and my bandwidth is very low, they are asking some other options also, like Azure Data Box. So what is this Azure Data Box? Offline transfer device, time to transfer typically 80 terabytes, order in 10 to 20 days. So 100 TB rugged encrypted device shipped by Microsoft. So Microsoft is going to send this data box device to your data center, so that you can offline, means go to the data center, connect, and copy the data, and again that device will be sent it back to the Azure. That way it is possible. And Azure Data Box disk, similar to same thing, and a 40 TB setup of 5 encrypted 8 TB SSD shipped by Microsoft. Same way again you are going to do. This is offline transfer device, means they will go there and they will connect to it and they will copy the data. So this is gateway is like a virtual appliance. These are like physical devices. Data box and data box disk is a physical devices, and this is a virtual appliance on-premises virtual network device in your hypervisor. So it is gateway is going to be configured this data box gateway separately. With the help of that, data will be transferred. So this way, multiple options whenever you want to migrate your data from your on-premises to Azure clouds. And here coming to this events, what are the events it is going to be recorded? Like in Windows also you see events, right? Same way here also you can configure events. And storage browser, previously they named it as a storage explorer, and this option was not available at that time, maybe 6 months ago or 1 year ago. So what they have done, we need to install Azure Storage Explorer. This tool we need to download. Whoever want to use it, we need to download this Explorer. And I think now we don't get this tool also. We can download this tool, Storage Explorer, and from our local machine also we can able to access to the storage account. But instead of that, they are providing this browser option inside this account itself, so that it will be easy instead of having the tool inside our local. So this is how you can able to see that. So if you see here, blob containers, recently viewed, favorites, main, these are like 4 which are important. It is available. If previously it was in my old laptop, my new laptop I don't have this software. Let me try to download it, where I can able to download. Maybe here. But where there is no download of Windows. Okay, it is trying to download now the Storage Explorer. Once it is downloaded, then I'll show you how you can able to connect to that storage account from your local machines. Previously we were using this option, but now instead of that we can able to use the same option here, storage browser. And once we come to this container here, so by default this logs directory is available, and it contains the logs. And when you try to create here, name my well, let's see. So this is the name I'm providing, and you have a private no access, blob anonymous read access for blobs only, container anonymous read access for containers. So these are the multiple options. So if I create for example blob storage and create, and also I'll create private, and I'm selecting this private no anonymous access so that no one is going to have access to this one. And this is container. So now create. So now I created 3 different, if you see here, public access level, private, container, and blob. Inside this, I'm trying to add some data. So first I'll go to the blob storage, and here we can see upload, and I'll try to upload some data. And I'll go here. Let's say this is the one. I'll try to upload, and same thing I want to upload here also. This one I will upload here. And then in the private. So here also I'll upload the same thing. So this way I uploaded here. Now if I go here, first blob storage, I'll go here and I'll try to open this independent file, whatever it has been created. So it is going to provide one URL for me. So for each object, it will provide one URL. So if I copy this URL and if I try to access it, see, it got downloaded here. If you see here, it got downloaded means we can able to access it. I can able to view it. And same way, if I go to the second one, it is also having some URL. So same URL, if you see, again, I open it. So here also I could able to download it means I can able to read it. It is going to be viewed. But third one, if you see, it is private. So for private, you cannot able to access it. So if you see here, the specified resource does not exist. So you cannot able to access it because whenever we created this as an private. So what is by default private doesn't have access. If you see here, private means no anonymous access. No one can able to access, but remaining two, even you can also able to access. If you go through this URL, whatever we got it. So this is a default name. Whatever the name is there, the domain name is there, Galaxy storage 01.blob. This is the default name. And remaining is, if you see, whatever the name I provided, the name of that container or maybe blob storage, and this you can see private. So whichever, if you don't want accessed by the anonymous, then you can keep them inside this one. And again, this is also depends what level of access you are providing to your blob storage and container storage. So whether you are providing read access, or even if you don't want anonymous also read access to your containers or maybe blob storage, then even others also cannot able to view it. And when I was discussing yesterday, while creating storage account, the name should be unique, means with the same name someone else should not able to create the storage account. Why? Because if you see here, this is able to accessible through the internet. So if you see here, blob.core.windows.net, this will be the common for everyone. Even if you create storage account, you will also get the same thing, this domain name. Whatever the name you provided to your storage account, that will be like extension, something like this. So if I provided, if you are also trying to provide the same name Galaxy storage 01 at the time of creating storage account, then this is accessing through the internet. So it cannot provide you two domain names. So that's the reason they are expecting your storage account should be unique, not within your account. Entire Azure, the same name should be not there. So that's why they are asking you to provide the unique name while creating the storage account. And what is the difference here? If you see blob storage and Azure storage, like if I able to access only till here, I don't give this document name. So we'll see whether I can able to access it or not. So I cannot able to access because it says resource not found. But container can able to provide you the information. We'll see that it will list out the information. If you see, this is a container details. Galaxy comments, it is container. So this is also showing the same thing, but in this way, it is not going to show you. If you want to list out the whatever the items inside the container, then you should add some extension. So for that, you need to uh, Azure storage list items. So we'll open this first URL, and here what you need to do, you can construct the list request as follows. You need to provide this method, get method. So this is your till here, already we have it till here. So you need to add extension this from this question mark, copy this and add it here, and remove this slash also from here. Now if you go and access this one, now you can able to see this information. So what is the file is inside this container, at what time it modified, everything. So this information, when it will be used from your application, for example, you have some other applications running in your some servers, they want to access these containers. Let's say you want to, in your application or in your script, you mentioned like uh, whichever files are modified from last 30 days, you want to delete them from these containers. So how you are going to find it out? So this way we will use these URLs inside that application, and first it will execute this get method, and then it will fetch the information. Based upon this modification time, it is going to delete. If it is 30 days old, then it will be deleted. Like this kind of activities will be performed with the help of this information. Okay, so that way you can able to use it. And so here, why we are getting this, whenever we open any kind of object here, we are getting this URL, right? So these URLs are already available here. It is defined like where is that? Somewhere it will be defined. So for each storage type, it is going to be provided like URLs. So that URLs they are allocating to us. Okay, whenever I find it, I will show you. And now coming to the networking. So inside this networking, firewalls and virtual networks, and you have private endpoints also mentioned over here. Okay, so firewalls enabled from all networks, and network routing. Microsoft, at the time of creating the storage account, we define like whenever if from internet whoever is trying to access the storage services, how the network should be routed. So it will be like Microsoft network routing or internet routing. Internet routing, it will be a bit insecure, so that's why we have chosen Microsoft network routing. Just a second, like someone is calling. Okay, so here public network access. So what from internet, whoever trying to access, they are also allowed. Or else internally, if you want to allow, then you can able to allow only from here. So enabled from selected virtual networks and IP addresses. So internally, you are going to provide access internally, and this private endpoints. When we talk about service endpoints, at that time we'll discuss about this one, and we have a separate session for endpoints also. At that time we'll discuss in detail about these endpoints. So access keys authenticate your application's request to the storage account. I was keep on telling like from application you can able to connect and access the storage account, and they can connect to your blob storage or container storage, and they can delete or upload the data. But how they will connect from there? So even once I downloaded this storage Explorer in my local also. From my local laptop, how can I able to connect with the help of these keys? So access keys, we need to provide this key. Your application request to the storage account, keep your keys in a secure location like Azure Key Vault and replace them often with new keys. Because don't keep the key frequently, you need to change it. So this is a rotate key so that the key will be rotated and it will provide generate new keys. And if you see here, show here, and this is the key. And here also you have another key. Why we need to have two keys? Anyone have idea why they are providing two keys? We can have only one key, right? Why they are providing extra key? Anyone have idea why they are providing two keys? Shiva is not correct. Shashi is also not correct. Shashi is also not correct. Rajesh, little bit correct, but Mahavir told correct to avoid downtime. Yeah, Sumitra also told correct. While rotating, it helps. Why? Because whenever we are rotating, you want a new key for the key one. Already you might be using this key for your application, like you configured that key on your servers somewhere, and they are connecting frequently and trying to access storage account. They are uploading and downloading files. These things is happening. All of a sudden, if you rotate the key here, and then you already configured that key one over here. So if suddenly if you rotate this one, then it is you are going to get downtime. So that's why in the application level they will use key one and key two also. So if when you rotate key one here, still this application is connected to your storage account because of this key two. So once you rotate this key one, then you take it and you provide it whoever was using, and then later on you can rotate the key two, not on the same day. Later on also you can do that. So to ignore the downtime, we will use two keys, means they are providing the two keys. So with the help of these keys, they can able to access this storage account. So let's see, we'll try to install this so that we can able to connect from our local machine also. So these are the keys for this storage account, and you can, as I mentioned, you can rotate it also. Yes, sure. Application should configure with the both the keys. If because as I mentioned, rotation is going to happen. Whenever the rotation happens, then there will be a disconnectivity until you rotate it. You take that key and you go and inform whoever is using that. It will take some time. Once I rotate, immediately that key will not come to know to the application users, right? So I need to send an email to them once I rotate it. So immediately it's not going to happen. If I make some delay, I thought, okay, I'll do it half an hour. I was in some other call and I forgot to send an email. It will take 1 hour, 2 hours of time. By that time, they will not able to connect to the storage account. Maybe some transactions might be happening. Sometimes application might be keeping some log files or some unnecessary files into the storage accounts. So if it not able to access, then application might also go down during that time. So it's critical impact will be there. So that's why they'll use two keys whenever it is ready, and like cloud engineer is going to send an email. This is the key is going to be changed, or else we no need to send any email. So what is going to happen? we can create a, I'll go here. Actually, they also not going to write this key directly inside their code. So we need to provide like key vaults. So inside this key vault, for example, I will create one value, resource group, some name, uh, storage account key. This is the name I'll provide, is already in user. Key vault name 01. Okay. So now region east US, something like this I'll create and review and create. So inside this, we will configure key variable concept. So here we will mention the key, and this variable they will write inside their code. So I don't go and send them through email to use this key. I'll just update here. So automatically no need to change from their end also. Like they are using variables, that variables is going to check here. So it's like, for example, in there they will mention something like storage hyphen key hyphen username this way, and storage hyphen key hyphen password, something like this. This will be configured inside their code, and in the code they will mention this key vault name also, whatever this key vault name also, it will be written over there. Then only it will go and check in the key vault. So here it will come. If you see here secrets, go to the secrets, generate, and name, same name, storage hyphen key hyphen username. Enter value, or else like single is also enough. Username password is not required. This way, and then some key. Assume this is a key, and this will be the value created. So this will be provided over here in the code. So when I generate a new key, I'll come here and again for the same one, the operation on if all recently check, please wait several minutes. Okay, just now it got created, so it is taking some time. So this can be updated with the latest key also. The value can be updated here. So again, I'll provide here new value. That's it. This is how it will happen in the real time. We don't, because in the code level, we should not mention passwords and keys should be hard coded in the code. So always it should be in the key vaults, and these key vault variables we use in the code, so that no one can able to know. Even if you got to know the code to open the application code, you don't know the keys and passwords, because it's danger. If someone knows those keys, they can access it, right? So that's why this is how we use key vaults. Shared access signature. Shared access signature is a URI that grants restricted access rights to Azure storage resources. So here you are going to define access for individual even resource also, like sorry, individual object for particular file also you can provide access, and allowed services like all these services, blob, file, queue, table, and allowed resource types also, like containers. You can define what level of access you want to provide, and you can define the time also, whether you want to you want to give access to specific user for specific time, like uh, when we go to the containers, if you see here, shared access tokens here. So here for this specific object, the same, this is also the SAS only. I went into specific blob storage and insert that to a specific file. If I want to give access to a specific user with a specific time only, then you can select this. So signing key, like what are the key one which we are discussing, that is the key here. And the stored access policy, if it is anything is there, you can, it will be visible here, or else nothing. Provide access, what access you want to provide, read and add or create something like this. And here you can select the time, from what time to what time you want to give access to this object. And or else you can define here for which specific IP addresses you want to provide access, that is also you can select. And let's say time 9:14, this is 20, this is also 19. Okay, so this is the time I mentioned here. Only for 2 hours I provided access, and generate a SAS token and URL. And this is a SAS token. Okay, so you can use this URL and server authentication. Make sure the authorization is formatted. Is it not 9:10 now? It's already Indian time only, right? This is 9:10. So to access this, they need to use this SAS token. Like directly, we cannot go and access. So whatever this SAS token is there, with the help of this SAS token, you can able to access it backend. And even if you see here, the same Galaxy blob storage, what are the information is there? If you see here, the same kind of information you can get Azure VNet documentation. Mm, somewhere we can see that. Even Azure, lot of others also going to store the documentation inside the background only, like in the Azure blob storage itself. But here it is not showing as of now. But generally, this kind of documentation, some web pages will be stored inside the backend Azure blob storage itself. So this we need to use, provide this token and this URL so that they can able to access this for the 2 hours only. So they can mention this in the code and they can able to access this for the 2 hours. So this way you can provide, grant access, only limited access to specific objects inside your containers. This is for the specific objects, so you can provide it. And encryption, whatever the data is there, you can encrypt the data, whatever the data is coming inside the storage account. You can, if you mention Microsoft Manager keys, means they are going to take care of this encryption. Or else if you want to do, then you need to encrypt with your own procedure. If you don't know, then you go with the Microsoft Manager encryption. And data redundancy, we discussed at the time of created storage account. Whatever the storage account you are creating, whether you want locally LRS, ZRS, or Geo. ZRS means also in the same region. Geo means what? Different regions. As of now, you created only one, so that's why it's showing one, because LRS means obviously it is single region. Suppose if I select a geo-redundant storage, so what happens? Redundancy means as of now still it is showing only one because we did not create it. We just save it, then it will become as a geo-redundant. So two regions is required now. Now if you see automatically it's selected, West US is secondary, but it is available. East US primary also it is available. Failover cannot be initiated because initial data signation from the primary to secondary region is in progress. So basically we'll get a failover option here. So if you feel like whenever is something problem with the East US, then you can failover to the West US at that time. So that option is not yet enabled because still just now we created the synchronization. Whatever is there in East US, now it's synchronizing to the West US. Once it is done, then it will give an option to prepare to failover. So when you click on this prepare to failover, so it will failover, then this will become secondary and this will become primary. So you can see here two different regions. So once this is done, we can come back and see prepare for failover. And the data protection, whenever if you delete, the data will be available till 7 days. If you want to increase, you can increase it. From there, you can again retrieve it, or else completely it will get deleted. So if you select the same thing for containers also, same, keep deleted containers for in so many days. Blob inventory, see an inventory. Inventory means, you know, right, the complete list of your storage, blob storages, maintaining inventory, what level of access it is having, what kind of files it is having, that will be inventory. And this is same like S3, static website you can create. First of all, what is the difference between static and dynamic website? Dynamic websites are like this portal now, azure.com, Facebook, all these are like a lot of other websites, means keep on updating the data. Static website means like, for example, my institute site is there. It is a static until unless I go there and upload some web page. For example, if I added a new course, so I want to know people like whoever trying to access my website, they want to know I added a new data science course in my institute. Then I'll go and add that page. That's it, static it is. The website is not going to change any pages. Those kind of sites are called static websites. Dynamic websites means keep on updating the data daily due to some reasons like Facebook, Gmail, like all these are like getting lot of updated data. They are dynamic data, dynamic websites. So in case if you want to host a static website, then you can host it, you can enable it, and you can mention like basic files index dot. If it is an HTML, if it is a PHP, then index.php this way, or py if you write in a Python. The content, whatever the website content, in which language it is written, based on that it will be identified. Index.html and error.html. This way you can provide it. Save, and whenever you enable the static website, automatically if you see an Azure storage container has been created to host your static website. So here if I go $web, this got created $web, and inside this no files are available. So here your website content should be available, otherwise your static website will not work. So as of now I don't have index.html and error.html. So we can create a files, text files, just enter. This one. Okay, I have written something inside this one, and one more file I'll create it. Just for namesake, I'm creating 404 not found, and I'm renaming these two files. This is like an rename index.html, and okay, I think it did not change means still it is having extension. I think error.html. So I'm going to upload these two files over here. Desktop index.html, and okay, it is having desktop. Hmm, somewhere it will be there, right? To remove the .txt extension, file name extensions. Yeah. Yes. So these are like index.html. I'm uploading, and then error.html upload. Oh, at a time only one file. Just taking why index.html. So both the files got uploaded, and now I'll go there and I'll try to take the URL. So this is a URL. See here, whatever I defined over there in that page, just for namesake, like if you have real content of your website content, put everything inside that container, that's $web container, then your website will be accessed easily. Like for example, now in if I want to run my own institute website and to host someone else hosting platform, then I can use it here for free of cost. But only thing is what? I don't want this domain name. So I want my own galaxy.in or galaxytech.com, something like that. So you know, right, what you need to do? You should go to the DNS zones, create a record over there, and already if you purchased a domain name, then just add it. If it is a GoDaddy, and go to the GoDaddy and update the DNS servers, so that your website will be whenever you access so and so site name, then you can able to access that one. That is how it will work. So for testing purpose, we can use these two files. For static website, you can download from internet and upload those CSS and HTML. Yeah, but I need to search it now. If I did not tested it, right? If I without testing, if I download some CSS package and now if it doesn't work, so unnecessary time waste, right? Wrong HTML code. Yeah, I forgot, like, but still it worked. Maybe it will come in a bold if I use it. Static website, they are using this URL. If you see here, this is a URL they are providing to use it. endpoints. And lifecycle management, like whatever the data is storing inside your blob storage or containers, same like in S3 you have a lifecycle management. So how you want to configure lifecycle management? Basically, what is lifecycle management? Like for human beings, it's from birth to death, there is a life cycle of a human being. The same way, the data, whatever is coming, for the data, you need to configure life cycle. Whenever the data comes, for how long you want to keep inside the containers, you want to move it, or you want to delete it, or you want to do something else. So that will be configured. Apply rule to all blobs in your storage account, or limit blobs with filters, block blobs or append blobs, like what you want to do based on this, you can configure. Last modified more than these many days ago, then delete. More than 30 days, if it gets created, then move to cool storage. Like hot storage and cool storage is there, right? When we were trying to create a storage account, hot means what? Frequent access. Cool means what? Infrequent access. So you can select move to cool storage. So this way you can configure uh, lifecycle rules based upon your requirement. And this configuration, so whatever at the time of creating this storage account we configured, so like we did not choose the premium. Only difference is like we want if in case if you want NFS for Azure files, then we use this premium, or else not required, we can go with this one. Secure transfer, all these options at the time of creating we discussed. If you don't enable here, if you disable here, allow blob public access, then directly when we are trying to access this, we cannot able to access it. So that's why we enabled it. And storage account key also we enabled, because when we enable, then only we could able to see the key over there, and with that key we can able to access. And this is cross origin is an HTTP feature that enables a web application running under one domain to access resource in another domain. Okay. Uh, this is like this is one storage account, this is another storage account, and this storage account one.com, something like this, and this is storage account 2.com. And but externally there is a website, and that website also configured with the storage account one.com this way. Then whenever you want to transfer files, this will work. But to different domain, if you want to transfer files, then you need to enable this CORS. Enables web application running under one domain to access resources in another domain. So in the storage account, this is a different domain, and this domain is with the same whatever the application, web application is running, like velaxitech.com. And here also I configure velaxitech.com inside internally. So transferring files here is easy, but to transfer to different domains, then we need to use this one. This SFTP feature is, I think, new feature. Local users and SFTP is disabled for this account. Create or edit local users. So through maybe SFTP, we can able to upload and transfer files, like it's like secure file transferring instead of normal FTP. So few more things we'll discuss tomorrow. This like endpoints and few more other options. File share I will show you tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Monday. And then Monday we'll discuss about virtual network gateway. That is one networking topic is left. So after discussing virtual network gateway, then we'll talk about public endpoints, private endpoints concept. And after that, we'll jump into the Active Directory, and after the database, like that will continue. So on Monday, little bit of storage account, and then we'll finish virtual network gateway. Not AKS. AKS is not part of this one. AKS will come under Azure DevOps. And last time someone were asking if Galaxy is going to start DevOps during the evening time, right? Today only I came to know they are going to start DevOps batch during evening times. You can contact them. So maybe next batch, I don't know the date and time, but they're going to launch in the evening times also DevOps classes. Not PowerShell script, ARM template. The final class will be like ARM template. One day session it will be there. Yes, Narayan, the scripts is going to run to copy the logs from file system to storage accounts. Run scripts also work, or lifecycle management is also work. Anything will work. We have a session on backup. Dinesh Aditya, can you share us Azure admin document? Means I did not get you. Azure admin document means, as of now, I don't have any sample scripts, Narayan. It's not with me. If I find anything, then I will let you know. CG, how many days? Maybe by June first week we'll finish. Uh, Virtual network gateway, maybe 1 day or 2 days it will take. Active Directory, database, backup, Azure App Services, and monitoring. Yeah, June first week we'll finish by June first week. Free Sai, yeah, Azure material I will share. Not migration. Migration is not part of this one. So to do migration, you should have an ESXi server, everything set up. A lot of things are required. Then only you can able to do migration. So that is not part of this course, Azure migration. You can go through the course curriculum, whatever is mentioned over there, those things will be covered. I don't have 900 exam dumps. I have 104. All those things are on in my old laptop. I will copy it today night or maybe this weekend, and Monday I will share it with you. In this new laptop, I don't have anything, like I'll copy that. Elastic Beanstalk is AWS, I think, right? Cloud Formation is also AWS, not Azure. Why you are asking AWS topics here? Not possible, Asia's migration topics, all those things. I will check if I find anything for migration documents or videos, I will let you know. Okay, guys, have a nice evening. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.